Hi guys, today we're going to be talking of brake upgrades in just a moment. So if you haven't already, please check out my membership video I released in the last days, and this will be a big help to my work over here. And if you feel like it, please subscribe with a membership to my YouTube channel. So let's get straight into it. Brake upgrades. This is a huge topic, and I would like to give you my take in order once more to give you the instruments in order to manage to decide for what is right for your application, because no two cars and no two owners need the same stopping power. And why is that? First thing is the use you make of your car. Second thing is the power level you are at, because more power you have, more stopping power you need, because it's just more energy in stopping the car from higher speeds in the same point, basically. And the same thing also goes if, for example, you do have a sequential gearbox, you will need even more braking power, because you will probably get up to higher vehicle speeds in lower space at the track or outside of it. And lastly, talking of track, is if you go to the track at all, or if you use just on the road and rally stages, this is a big point. So, lastly but not least, it's about the budget you're willing, available, and wanting to spend for this scope. So, personally, as you know, I use my car mostly on the street and on rally, let's say, stages, but not real rally races, although the way I drive does push the car as if it were almost in a race. And therefore, I wanted something, let's say, Clubsport, something that was OEM plus, and that gave me the same reliability, the same silence in use, and also affordable exchange of brake rotors in the future. Because I don't know about in your country, but in Italy now, the dealership with my own discount, that is quite high, have asked me for 2,600 euros for my discs that now are like at 26.4 millimeters, and very soon I'll need to change out. So, Clubsport application. What would I choose for myself and suggest to you? So, our discs are already two-piece discs. They are not floating discs, but they are in different materials. So, the center part is cast aluminum, and the outer part is just bare metal for the disc. The point is that the cooling vanes in the OEM discs are not of motorsport grade. And yes, they are directional. Yes, they are installed the wrong way around, but it's not a right or wrong. It's depending on how much cooling you need for this. So this is not the point. What would I do? I scouted the market, and basically I found very few good brake disc options, and all of them were very, very expensive, because I found an option from Endless that actually has two different models there. And we all know that Endless is the top, but it's also top expense, talking about 1,500 to 1,800 euro for a pair of discs from them. And I don't know how much for the replacement rotors after that. And then there is a solution from Alcon up in UK. I don't know what has happened there, but you can still find them around. This appears to be a solid solution. Stock sizes always. And then I found here in Italy Scara 73 that actually made a kit of his own. And I was attracted by the fact that these discs also weigh 3 kilos less than the stock ones. And this opens a chapter to itself. You will hear people telling you that weight in brakes is good, and other people telling you that you need to reduce your unsuspended masses. Point is, they're both right. So when we talk of disc weight is good, what do these people mean? So let me show you. This is Scara's disc that I chose. And basically, when they say that the weight is good, they are talking of this part of the braking surface of the disc. So basically, This cast iron is the one that actually needs the possibility to take in the heat energy and then dissipate it. Therefore, the more mass you have on the braking rings, the more these masses are capable of taking the heat and dissipating them. And this is a fact. Where you do not want the weight is here in the middle. So the center belt is just a mechanical connection that helps you work and install the actual friction ring on your car. So this part you want resistant, of course, and it has to work well, but you want it of the lightest possible material and the workmanship. So this one is very light, and also this one is not floating. It's got the same principle as the standard one. So you see, it's just screwed in, but it works fine at these levels of heat, not a problem, stock sizes, and you don't have issues with bobbiness and with noise and anything of that. And I'm sure that this will be fine. But I know that this disc is not the most capable in the world. So I also have to change my pads and choose them very wisely, because the pads come just after your disc, but they are very closely tied. So this opens a whole other chapter. The pads. So on mostly stock up to 350 horsepower GR with the standard brake calipers, you want to put some calipers that have got low to medium friction coefficient. This is because the higher coefficient you put in, the higher the temperatures will be, and the higher the wear of the disc itself will be. And since all aftermarket discs on stock calipers are still 28 mil, there's only so much steel that you can heat, and therefore you need to cool the disc. Many people say, oh yes, but let's say the lower spec pads maybe cannot take the heat as much as others. And in some cases it's true, with other real modern materials that have been coming out, for example with the EBC RP1s that for the moment are my choice on this car, although because of availability I had to go with Ferrodo DS 2500 that I've had mixed experiences with in the past, and every time, once more, I was not happy with them. That's because I was using it on cars where I did not have enough brake cooling, and they were heavy cars also, or with a lot of horsepower. But the pad itself is good, it's just that it's, let's say, a last gen pad. EBC RP1 are a new gen pad, and they're easier to bed in, and they last much longer, and they're stable until 750 degrees. So about brake cooling, on the GR Yaris you have two possibilities. The first one is, if you don't have them, to install the front ducts that bring from the bumper to the wheel well. And once you've got that, you can install the 3D printed pipes that bring the air towards the wheel, and that also helps a little bit. But the fact is that the routing is very narrow and it's got a lot of bends. Therefore, Import Racing has got this new solution that I should be receiving in some days of brake cooling. There is a kind of scoop, an engineered scoop that goes on the lower control arm, like on the Porsche GT3, so I talked about it already, and this we will make a separate video about. So go with lower friction pads, but a lot of brake cooling, and you will never have any problem. And these are the pads of my choice. If you're going endless, you can still go with the MX-72 in the more stronger version of the two. And still, you will be hyper fine, because you have to know that what you're used to are the stock pads, and the stock pads have got such a low braking coefficient, really, a really low one. And I still want to see how the servo reacts on this car. Plus, another big addition, if you do decide to go, for example, with fully floating discs and high friction pads, you must know immediately that you need to buy a sump baffle kit, because otherwise the snorkel in the engine upon hard braking will not manage to pump in the oil, and you will go into issues of both braking the engine because of oil starvation and the ECU shutdown. And especially the Cybex are very, very, how can I say, sensitive about oil pressure. So who's running Cybex needs a baffled sump. Now I've seen just one, and it's not the pan itself, but it's a baffle you put inside of the sump. Then what else do you need? Absolutely. From my friends at Help Performance, I got them in GR Red, some beautiful brake hoses, because in my early video about brakes, I was wrong when I said that our brakes had rubber hoses with the metal sheeting inside. It's not true, they're just rubber. I verified it, so I'm sorry for having given you wrong information. You do need these brake hoses, and these are, as usual, from Hell, top quality. And another important addition, whilst you're changing your brake hoses, you have to bleed the system. So I strongly advise you to get a clutch hose. This is a second one for me because it's color-coded, but I already have the one from them installed on the car. And the clutch hose makes a positive change to the reaction and time of response of the clutch itself when you are at the track and when you are using the car at its full potential. So this is very important. And yeah, big brake kits. I have seen quite a bit of big brake kits, but I would say if it's not something that it's directly validated and tried and tested by yourself, I would beware of going with composed brake kits and not full solutions. Full solutions are the way to go. So if I were to put a big brake kit onto this car, I would buy both front and rear, install them together, eliminate the stock handbrake, and fit an hydraulic handbrake. It's quite an easy job on these cars. Nowadays, they sell quite cheap hydraulic handbrakes that have a cylinder within it that takes the two input lines and gives two output lines. So it's intercepting this OEM circuit that goes to the rear wheels. So it's not a big deal to install, and it works even much more better. And you don't always have to be thinking of how to go and adjust your handbrake cable like on the stock version. So yeah, I will showcase the products a little bit now, and very soon I'll let you know about the brake cooling a bit more, and I hope you enjoyed this. Please let me know in the comments if you want to go into deeper matters. I'm here, up to you. Bye now. Cheers.